Hi Dan, here we are again, and I'm sure we speak we speak on behalf of everybody in saying that there's been huge disappointment over this weekend, but signs of hope in different areas. Your thoughts about what has happened and where we're going?
Yeah, thank you, Mark. It was a very disappointing test against Australia in Adelaide. We didn't play well at all, in spite of the referee who became the big story. Now, the big story, of course, was Nick White, the scrum half's theatrics, going down as though he was pole-axed after Faf de Klerk ruffled his moustache, and Marika Koroboti's shoulder charge, which wasn't had a look at. But the interesting thing to me about Nick White is that he had an influence on that game from the very first kickoff. He took the kickoff. He took from the centre spot and he kicked a very high kick dead down the centre of the field. And the Springboks got in a bit of a muddle. Damien Willemse came for the ball, Peter Steff came for the ball. They didn't win the ball. The Wallabies got the ball straight back, took it through the phases really well and scored. So within 2 minutes the Wallabies were 7-0 up. And on those little things, test matches turn. So then what Nick White did later was appalling in the spirit of the game, but he'd already had an influence by taking the ball and taking it away from the Springboks wanting to play with their forwards. So it's something for the Boks to look at, as the Australians are not going to give you that forward contest. Now we go back to Sydney, very determined Springbok side, I would think, and they've been forced to make a number of changes because of injuries. So interestingly, Handré Pollard, who I was concerned about, is now out with injury, as is Peter Steff du Toit, who's not been the Peter Steff we know, and most worryingly, Lukhanyo Am, who I think has become the centre of his generation. So that is quite a worry, because we're now going to play Jesse Kriel, who hasn't had a lot of action, who's often played on the wing, often played as a reserve, and hasn't been played very much. He's now going to play outside centre. And Pollard's injury means that Damien Willemse goes to fly half, which is an interesting choice. That happens because Elton Jantjies, it turns out, is injured as well. Now you get a very different type of player at fly half. And to me, he almost doesn't suit the way the Springboks have been playing. He tends to be one-footed, very one-footed, but he's a maverick. He takes chances. He always tries to do something clever with the ball. And the Springboks are going to have to adapt to that. Or are they going to make him sit in a box and play the kind of game they want to? So that is going to be a big change, but he's a very talented player. He played fly-off as a schoolboy, so he's not unfamiliar with the position. The other choices have been that what they've done is gone with, instead of the bomb squad, they've now gone with the strike squad. They've gone with the big pack, the best Malcolm Marx leading the front row, Kitsoff and Malherbe. They've pricked Mostert on the lock, so they're obviously going out to bomb the Australians in the scrum and really make a marker and say, we're coming for you this time and we need to win this. So interestingly, the same set of referees, Paul Williams now on the line, Ben O'Keefe from New Zealand will run the game, and we know that we were unhappy with the refereeing. And whatever anybody says, and we don't like complaining about referees, in fact I detest it. One shouldn't, but there was a very poor performance by Paul Williams. And I'm just wondering, is that fallout from the video? Are referees anti the Springboks because of Russie's video? We'll wait to see. So interesting test match coming up at the Sydney Football Ground. We yet again have to overturn that Australian hoodoo. We're not winning there. And it's time for the prediction. And guess what? I have to be honest. My last 3 predictions have been wrong. But that's the way of the way of the game. And I'm going to stick my neck out. I'm going to say the Springboks are going to play with great concentration, great determination, and they're going to win this one.
Thanks Dan. The bell's ringing. We're ready for the game.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.